I'm Danny's surname, and I have almost died at least 3 times. I say at least because I've got a feeling I'm missing a few, but when they're so often you just stop counting. I should tell you before I start my 3 stories that my mum was very, very ill when she was younger. She went through surgery and was told she was barren, that she couldn't have kids. She was ill a lot when she was younger, had her own near-death experiences, but the doctors were adamant that she could not have kids. So even if I don't achieve anything in this life, I'm already a miracle child. I think I should design a sticker that pops up every time I say something completely immodest because it seems like one of my recurring traits. Okay, I'm going to say that again, just in case I manage to create something brilliant in editing that fulfills that desire. So even if I don't achieve anything in my life, I'm already a miracle child. On to the death stories! When I was about 2 years old, my gran was coming in holding me from wherever we had been, and apparently I'm told that I left all my toys everywhere in the front room, and as my gran was walking in carrying me, she tripped over something that I had left, and we both fell through the glass door into their living room. The glass door shattered around us and shards of glass were everywhere. My grandma held on to me for dear life and protected me and made sure that I didn't get any of the death shards that were clattering around us. And when everything stops moving, I'm lying on top of her and there is this giant spear of glass hanging right above us. And if it falls, it'll go through both of us and kill us instantly. We're lying there for a while and then my grandpa comes in and he's like, as you would be if you saw your wife and granddaughter lying in an extravaganza of glass. And my grandma says, here, take the baby. He takes me away, he gets a tea towel and wraps it around the shard of glass that was hanging above us and tells my grandma to scuttle out from underneath it. She does and we both get out of it okay. My grandma tells this story very dramatically with a pale, stern face every time. And yes, of course it's dramatic. Shattering glass tends to be quite dramatic. But she is fond of telling the story as if we did actually die. We both went to hospital and I don't know about her, but I only got a small scar. I have a crescent moon-shaped star next to my eyebrow. It's mostly hidden by my eyebrow, which is the remnants of a glass cut from that day. The second time I almost died was definitely my fault. Years ago I learned to do front flips from this kid. I don't know where we were, but he taught me how to do flips with no professional training whatsoever. Never do any kind of trampoline stunts without a trained professional to tell you what to do. Okay? Just don't do it. It's never a good idea. Anyway, there's a fair in town one day and my parents take me and there are some trampolines near the entrance. Those ones with 6 different trampolines and then somebody watching you with mesh all around the outside of the 6 trampolines. My parents pay and I get on one and I start jumping and then I do a flip. Except as I'm coming down, I land on my neck. Next thing I know, I stop breathing. I'm lying on my back and I can't breathe. I lie there for a couple of seconds and then I rocket straight up and throw myself against the mesh next to the trampoline and start trying to yell at my parents saying, help me, please help, I can't breathe. But I can't breathe, so I can't talk. So I must have been making these grotesque faces, but I had no way of communicating what was going on. Obviously they must have guessed what was going on considering they just saw me land on my neck. I fall back onto my back and I lie there, unable to breathe, panicking so much, not thinking about anything coherent whatsoever. I'm just lying there, knowing that I can't breathe. Then all of a sudden, my neck goes and I take the biggest gasp of my life and I can breathe again and I'm okay. My parents rush me to hospital and then I wait in A&E for 3¼ hours, which I am still pissed about, because for fuck's sake, I almost died. Why am I waiting 3½ hours to check if my fucking neck is broken? When I finally do get it checked out, the doctors say that I jarred my neck, which is why I stopped breathing because trauma was caused to my windpipe at the same time. I was completely okay, but they also told me that the only reason that I survived that and didn't break my neck was because I was so massively underweight at the time. When I was a kid, I had massive weight issues, and I was so light that I physically didn't have enough body weight to snap the bones in my neck. My last story isn't really a near-death experience, but it was incredibly scary, and it's the only time in my life that I've ever genuinely been speechless from fear. I was driving home from school from an art exhibition that we'd held for literature, and my stepdad was the one driving the car, and as we're driving along the road, this other car pulls out of a side road horizontally across our path. We are literally seconds away from passing the junction, and they decide to pull out. They pull out reasonably quickly, and they're completely horizontal across our path. My head goes, fuck, we're gonna crash. Babe. And for about 5 seconds, all I can think is about my girlfriend and about how we're going to crash and how babe's gonna be heartbroken if I get hurt or if I die. And that's all I can think. My stepdad is ex-military, so to his credit, he is incredibly ultra prepared for unexpected events like this, and he swerves and we completely miss the car. Miraculously. Like, Jesus Christ, if I was driving that car, there's no way we'd still be alive. Somehow he manages to get us right round the car in such a perfect avoidance maneuver that we're completely fine. But we drive on, and for a minute neither of us can speak, and we're just like, did that genuinely just happen? He starts talking about how the only way that we're still alive is because of that training and how we're okay. And I can't say anything at all. I'm just thinking, fuck! We get home and we tell my mum all about it, and I text baby and I say, this is what happened. I love you so much. I'm okay. And after a while, everybody's alright. So there you have it. There are 3 reasonably detailed stories from my past of when I almost died. It's remarkable the feeling that you have when you think you're going to die. It's like the future and the past stop existing. Weirdly, it is that sense that this is the height of being alive, because it is 100% just the present moment. And unless you've ever had a near-death experience, it's probably a weird sensation to hear about. Thankfully, I'm still alive, and I am genuinely grateful for every single day that I have on this earth. Give me an ego boost, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.